Okay guys, I'm just outside here, the Kincrome warehouse in Melbourne, just to give you a quick demo on a couple of the pressure washers in the TSC. I've got the K16200, the 6.5 horsepower, which is on the front page, so I'll show you that one. And we've also got the K16202, the diesel unit. I'll just run through a couple of little procedures on how to start and operate that unit. All right, I'll just let you know also, all three units come with detailed instructions. There's a minor bit of assembly, not much, maybe just put the handle and some wheels on, but everything else is mounted. It's got the parts listing, exploded diagram and operating instructions there as well, so they're handy to have. Okay, it's a 4-stroke motor as I described earlier. Just to start it up, there's a fuel tap, a choke and a throttle lever. So you can see on the bottom panel here there's some operating instructions step by step. So the first step is to make sure there's oil and fuel in it. The units come empty, they're dry, so the customer needs to supply their own motor oil and fuel. The specifications of those are in the instructions on all three units. Then you hook up your water supply. On the panel here it says mains. In this case we're just using a water tank using the low pressure inlet hose that I showed you earlier. Step number 3, it's important that when you start the motor, you have the trigger depressed on the gun, so just to release pressure to allow it to run freely so it doesn't back up under compression. Okay, so step 4 is there's an electric switch which is switched to the on position, like so. And then we set the choke to full, which is up here, across there. Fuel tap's open and the throttle lever's here, and that's marked here with a rabbit and a turtle logo here. Alright, so let's fire this one up. Okay, so as I say, the trigger's in, just release some pressure, and then we'll go over to my right over here where there's some old dirty concrete which will give a bit of a clean up. Alright, so the trigger's in, fuel's on, choke's on switch. So you can see that worked quite well and very effective, removing that grime that's been built up for the last 3 or 4 years since we've been here. I've also got to let you know though that it's very important that if you're not using the unit, you can't let it run for more than 2 minutes without releasing the pressure, otherwise the pump will build up heat and you can wreck some seals and make the pump leak. So it's just a case of switching it off. You might have noticed as soon as I started it, it started running a bit rough. That was just because the choke was on, so I just, as soon as it started, back the choke off, and then it ran smoothly, and then I was away with the job. So that's the K16200, front page of the TSC, retailing at $6.99. Okay, I'll just show you the K16202, the diesel model, just how to start it. Like the other two models, there is step-by-step starting instructions on the front panel here, but obviously it'll be a bit better if I can show in person a couple of little tricks for the procedure. So down on the side here is there's a little knob here. At the moment it's on the stop position. It's just, you undo it anti-clockwise to loosen it, push it down to the run position. So that's basically opening up the throttle body inside for the fuel inlet. Up here there's a red lever. This, because diesel engines run on high compression, the compression needs to be released before you start it, so it's just a matter of pushing that down. It's on a spring, so once the motor starts it'll pop up and build up compression, and then the ignition key over here. So here we go. And switching it off is just the reverse by closing that throttle body.